Good evening and welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul. A day before the big West Bengal Panchayat polls, an India Today special investigation on West Bengal's bomb-making factories. That's my top focus on the news track.
Bomb attacks, explosions, carnage. The bloody road to Bengal's Panchayat election. And now India Today exposes Bengal's bomb factories. Who has blood and gunpowder on their hands? Bombs of Bengal, an India Today special investigation.
We've seen political violence and killing spiral in the build-up to these Panchayat elections. Where are these bombs coming from? An eye-opening India Today expose is coming up, but before that, here are the headlines. No relief for Rahul Gandhi. He remains disqualified as Member of Parliament after Gujarat High Court refuses to stay his conviction in the Modi surname defamation case. Prime Minister Modi attends the Gita Press centenary celebrations in Gorakhpur weeks after the Gandhi Peace Prize controversy, unveils a copy of the Shiv Puran, calls Gita Press an example of living faith. BJP announces new teams for 4 assembly polls. Prahlad Joshi given charge of Rajasthan, Bhupender Yadav of Madhya Pradesh, O.P. Mathur made election in charge in Chhattisgarh, and Prakash Javadekar in charge of Telangana. Delhi court takes cognizance of sexual harassment case against Brijbhushan Sharan, summons the wrestling body chief on the 18th of July. After launch of Twitter alternative Threads, Musk threatens to sue Meta, accuses the social media giant of unlawful misappropriation of Twitter's trade secrets. In a few hours from now, West Bengal will vote in the sensitive Panchayat elections. But India has seen how the road to this local body election has been a bloody one. At least 18 people have died in incidents of poll violence. It's not just about violent clashes and stone pelting anymore. This election has seen several incidents of bomb attacks and explosion. Now, an India Today investigation reveals how these bomb factories are booming this poll season. Mohammad Hizbullah from the India Today Special Investigation Team with our top story tonight.
The road to Bengal's Panchayat elections littered with the debris of bomb attacks. Devastating testimony to the extent the political machine can go in the pursuit of electoral dominance. One of the worst so far is this one on your screen. On June 24th, this blast in Murshidabad killed 26-year-old Alim Sheikh and injured 3 others. 5 days earlier, not far from here, 5 children aged between 7 and 11 sustained serious injuries when they mistakenly played with a crude bomb that had been assembled for political use. A week later, the police recovered 4 fresh bombs near a primary school in North 24 Parganas. A terrifying and literally explosive thread that has run virtually unchecked and uninterrupted in Bengal's smallest electoral battlefield. Bombs aimed at wiping out rivals and spreading fear. are now a dominant theme in the Panchayat polls on Saturday. The surge in these attacks has cast a familiar shadow of fear and loathing. Amidst the explosions and carnage, few are asking where these bombs really come from. Who precisely assembles them? How are they so easily available? An India Today undercover special investigation team has just completed a mission fraught with risk and danger, where undercover reporters penetrated the epicenter of this terrifying industry, revealing for the first time on camera the fully devastating reality of Bengal's bomb factories. The political class that has blood and gunpowder on its hand, and a public that runs the daily risk of losing life and limb. Under the Explosive Substances Act, manufacturing, selling or using bombs is totally banned in the country. Join our team of undercover reporters now as we show you how effortlessly this and several other laws are broken with zero fear of repercussions. This special investigation begins in West Bengal's Bankura district. After crossing this makeshift bridge over the Damodar River at midnight, we meet our bomb supplier. He's a veteran, having supplied explosives for 2 decades and counting. Watch now as he displays his wares.
आप सैंपल दिखाएंगे मुझे?
कोटो है, कोटो कोटो है।
ये कोटो बम है।
हाँ।
ये कैसे बनता है?
ये नारकेल है।
ये क्या है?
ये तो कोटो बनता है।
कोटो।
अरे ये जो है ना नारकेल है।
हाँ।
ये भी ये धरेगा, ये मारेगा ना।
हाँ।
तो फूट जाएगा।
अच्छा और ये
फूट जाएगा।
अच्छा।
ये फूट जाएगा। এটা মানে বেশি সুবিধা।
हाँ।
এটা ধরতে সুবিধা।
हाँ।
আর এটা লিয়ে বেশি দূর যাওয়া যাবে না। ये आंगुल আছে না, ये जोर दाब गया तो फट गया।
अच्छा हाँ।
पावरफुल होता है এটা।
अच्छा ये पावरफुल है। अच्छा और ये
पावरफुल।
और लोग कौन सा ज़्यादा बनाते, लोगों को कौन सा ज़्यादा डिमांड होता है?
डिमांड ये जोड़ होगा बेसी।
The market for these bombs is the truly frightening aspect of this dark investigation.
तो आप किस पार्टी के लिए बनाते हैं?
कौन पार्टी के लिए?
हाँ?
पार्टी के लिए। पार्टी करता हूँ। एक का पुलिस का, और 1.5 मास का गाँच रहा है। एक पार्टी लगी। मैं पार्टी की चुप पड़ा नहीं।
हाँ।
घोड़े फैमिली का अपोज जाएगा। और सेके के नाके से ना पार्टी देगा, फिर ना पार्टी करेगा।
सब पार्टी वाले करना?
हाँ, कोनो पार्टी वाला कोनो सिस्टम नहीं।
हाँ। अच्छा। जो आएगा चल जाएगा। कुछ गुप्तो भागा आएगा। हाँ। कुछ गुप्तो भागे जाएगा। अच्छा।
That's right. All political parties buy these bombs. And unsurprisingly, this is a seasonal business that booms when elections are in the air. But how can the police not be aware of this? Do the bomb makers and suppliers not fear the law of being busted and arrested?
This is something.
पुलिस
वो तो बोल रहा हूँ पुलिस अगर गाँच रखा कर 1.5 मास तो जो बम बास्टिंग हो गया हमारे आइडिया करिले আমাকে আইডিয়া করিলে পুলিশের কাছে আজ অবধি আমার কোনো কেস নেই ঠিক আছে তো थोड़ा आइडिया করে फिर আমি रात का 3 बजे का माल का छोड़ देगा ओके যেমন করে নিয়ে যাও আমার কোনো দায়িত্ব নেই আচ্ছা আমার কাজ ধরে যাও এই ভিডিও করুন বুঝতে পেরেছি তো এর বেশি কিছু নেই আমি যদি তোমার মালটা খুলে দেবো তাও না আমি সেখান থেকে আপনাকে ধরে দেবো আমি থাকবার জায়গায় আপনাকে রাখবার জায়গায় বুঝতে পারছেন তো ধরে দেবো আমি চলে যাবো না আমি কোথায় বাঁধছি সেটা আমি বলবো না আপনাকে রাখবার জায়গায় কাজ করবার জায়গায় বুঝতে পারছেন তো ধরে দিয়ে এসে ধরে দেবো
From Bankura, our undercover team makes its way to West Bengal's Purba Bardhaman. Right off the bat, he tells our undercover cameras that he has already supplied 2,000 bombs to political parties in just the last few months in the run-up to the Bengal Panchayat polls.
बोलिए।
माल चाहिए।
माल चाहिए तो आपका किस लिए जरूरत है?
अभी चुनाव में चाहिए ना?
चुनाव में चाहिए।
हाँ।
चुनाव में तो हर आदमी बोल रहा है, ऑर्डर दे रहा है।
अच्छा।
बाकुड़ में देता है।
नहीं अभी मिल जाएगा, मेरे को चाहिए।
मिलेगा, एक रोज बाद मिलेगा।
चुनाव तो 2 दिन बाद ही है, तो कैसे 2 रोज बाद कैसे दोगे?
अभी तो ऑर्डर है मेरा पास।
हाँ,
ऑर्डर है तो अभी।
तो कब दोगे आप?
तो नहीं देंगे, कल से बाद परसों देंगे। कितना पीस चाहिए बोलिए?
मेरे को 50 पीस चाहिए।
50 पीस चाहिए।
हाँ।
ठीक है, मिल जाएगा।
क्या बम की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं?
बम में बात कर रहे हैं।
He too has a variety of bomb products to showcase, including grenades.
तो कौन सा बम होगा?
हाथ बम मिलेगा।
अच्छा, हाथ बम
मिलेगा, ग्रेनेड मिलेगा।
ग्रेनेड भी मिलेगा?
हाँ।
The supplier also showed us his weapons and revealed how he can supply.
सैंपल तो दिखाइए पहले।
लीजिए।
अरे मेरे से हिम्मत नहीं है छूने की।
लीजिए। कुछ नहीं होगा, अभी कुछ नहीं होगा। जब बस्ट नहीं होगा, पड़ता नहीं तो बस्ट नहीं होता।
माल आपके पास स्टॉक है?
हाँ।
अभी स्टॉक में नहीं है आपके पास?
मसला स्टॉक है।
और माल बना हुआ नहीं है?
नहीं बना हुआ है। वो आदमी कल पैसा ले लिया है, उसको मिलेगा तो कब मिलेगा।
कितना बना हुआ है?
अभी मिलेगा 100 पीस। उसका ऑर्डर है, 100 पीस ले जाएगा।
Post-poll violence after the 2021 Bengal Assembly elections are infamous for their brutality. At least 25 people were killed and hundreds injured in thousands of separate attacks. In the run-up to the Panchayat polls, 14 people, including minors, have died in bomb attacks. The latest, a 17-year-old. What this investigation reveals on camera, upfront and uncensored is that the bombs that play a terrifying lead role in grassroots political action on the path to even a Panchayat poll are part of an industry that won't be wound up easily or soon. A report by Mohammad Hizbullah for India Today's Special Investigation Team.
This India Today investigation reveals that all parties seem to be part of this cycle of political violence. A day before the Panchayat polls, the West Bengal governor and the Mamata Banerjee government are at daggers drawn on the issue of who's fueling this poll violence.
Hours before votes are cast for the West Bengal Panchayat poll, 3 BJP workers were shot dead allegedly by TMC men in Dinhata, Cooch Behar. In the run-up to the elections, 18 people have been killed in this blood politics. As violence and carnage continues, the political war of words is also escalating. West Bengal Governor CV Ananda Bose visited the violence-hit areas in Murshidabad. He also accused the State Election Commissioner of failing the discharge of his duties.
We put up a fence to guard the crops. We put up a chain. We put a chain, not taking chain. What do? When the fence itself eats up the crops? If democracy is dead during these Panchayat elections, Who is the killer? Who is the killer? Who is the killer? Will the State Election Commissioner SEC please raise his hand? Will the SEC please raise his hand? You should know who are the killers.
Mamata Banerjee's nephew and TMC General Secretary Abhishek Banerjee has hit back at the governor.
আপনি রাজ্যপালকে দেখেছেন একবারের জন্য গিয়ে কেন্দ্র সরকারকে বলা যে বাংলার মানুষের টাকা আটকে রয়েছে, আপনারা ব্যবস্থা নিন। উপর থেকে দিল্লি থেকে যেভাবে ওনার কাছে আদেশ আসছে, উনি চেষ্টা করছেন ওনার সীমাবদ্ধ এখতিয়ার অনুযায়ী, ক্ষমতা অনুযায়ী, যাতে সেই আদেশগুলো অক্ষরে অক্ষরে পালন করা যায়। রাজ্যপাল বলছে যে নির্বাচন কমিশনের হাতে যদি রক্ত লেগে আছে, তাহলে মণিপুরে যে ৩০০ জন মারা গেল তার রক্ত কার হাতে লেগে আছে?
The Calcutta High Court has directed that the central forces will remain deployed across West Bengal for 10 days after the Panchayat poll results are declared on July 11 in order to ensure the safety of people and elected Panchayat members. Will it be enough to stop the cycle of poll violence? Bureau Report, India Today.
Is any one party more to blame for this poll violence? Are all parties equally to blame? What might happen in the West Bengal Panchayat polls tomorrow? Remember, the BJP lost the last assembly elections. In the last Panchayat polls, it was one-way traffic in favor of the Trinamool Congress. This time, you're seeing a bigger fight because there's a pushback from the BJP. To talk about the bombs of Bengal and this India Today special investigation, we're joined on this broadcast representing the ruling Trinamool Congress in West Bengal, its spokesperson Mohammad Tausifiur Rahman. To talk about the BJP's perspective, we have the party's national spokesperson Sanju Verma. For a perspective from West Bengal, we have India Today's consulting editor Jayanto Ghoshal. Shikha Mukherjee joins us. And we have Dr. Nazrul Islam, former Additional Director General. I want to go across to Dr. Nazrul Islam first. You've been in charge of law and order in the state of West Bengal. This investigation suggests, and if I use the comments made by the bomb makers as a reference, that all parties seem to be buying bombs, which is why these bomb-making factories are really killing it in election season. Who do you think is more to blame?
Actually, the police minister, who is also the chief minister, Mamata Banerjee is to be blamed most. And after her, it is the state election commissioner, Rajiv Sinha, to be blamed for this during the Panchayat election. Because at the time of Panchayat election, all the police forces and other administration is given by the governor under the state election commissioner. So whatever is happening, single-handedly state election commissioner is to be blamed most.
Okay, let Mohammad Tausifiur Rahman respond to this. You're hearing from a former Additional Director General who's been part of the West Bengal administration, law and order and policing, saying that the Chief Minister and the state government and the State Election Commission are to blame because law and order at this moment is your responsibility. If there is violence in the state, there wasn't violence when Panchayat polls happened in Uttar Pradesh on Yogi Adityanath's watch. Therefore, this is in part the responsibility of the Chief Minister and in part the responsibility of the State Election Commission.
Well, good evening, Rahulji. Rahul, of course, I mean, it's very easy as of now to blame the state government that the law and order is under TMC government. Of course it is. And Mamata Banerjee or beat it Abhishek Banerjee, they are not backing out of it in anything. Of course, it's condemnable, it's heart-wrenching, losing those 15 lives, whether they belong to BJP, CPM, TMC, ISF. Everyone has lost their life, even the innocent people who were never connected to political agenda or anything with the political thing. But, you know, I'm very surprised to see the video. I mean, it's a breaking news what I'm seeing on India Today from Bakura. The bombs are there. And I want like to tell you, Rahulji, that from Bakura, there are two MPs from BJP One is Dr. Subhash Sarkar and other is Sumitro Khan. So I guess they are involved in this bomb factories, or they are making
But
it.
that's a preposterous charge, because you have no evidence to back what you're saying at this moment. So law and order is on your watch.
This is what. When it comes, Rahulji, when it comes for evidence, it becomes a very good lecture.
Okay.
You know, when you sit on a national television, especially a channel like India Today, and you blame the chief minister, we are not backing out. But what is the fact? You know, I'll tell you, I'll share a video from Dilip Ghosh. He was clearly stating that I know from where these bombs are coming, from where these hooligans are coming, who are doing this. Everyone is coming from Bangladesh. I'll share the video.
Okay.
So if he knows
Rahul,
these hooligans are coming from Bangladesh, so who is responsible with BSF? BSF is not under state government. BSF comes under central government. So if Dilip Ghosh knows, so it must be everything under the nose of Amit Shah.
Let Sanju Verma respond.
No,
you are blaming the BSF for letting these infiltrators and these bomb makers in. You're also saying where is the evidence to blame the Trinamool or the Chief Minister Sanju Verma? The ADG says the state government is to blame. The Trinamool spokesperson says that's like firing a blank in the air. You have no evidence to back that charge. He's suggesting, because of what Dilip Ghosh said, that this is actually infiltration from Bangladesh.
You know, Rahul, now I did not heckle the TMC spokesperson and I need my time. And I want to completely, destroy the absolute gibberish that he has spoken. And before doing so, let me tell your audience what the two-judge bench of Justice Manoj Mishra and Justice B.V. Nagaratna said on the 20th of June 2023 in a clear castigation of how law and order has taken a flying leap out of the window under a highly incompetent Mamata Banerjee, who is not only the Chief Minister, but the de facto Home Minister of West Bengal. I did not interrupt, Rahul.
Mohammad Rahman,
you are using
let her respond, please. Okay, Rahman's fader goes down. I can't run a debate like this. If everybody starts talking over each other, I can't control the debate. Let Sanju Verma complete. Your fader's down, so don't waste your energy. Let Sanju complete.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rahul. So now I repeat, Mamata Banerjee is not only the Chief Minister, but the de facto Home Minister of West Bengal, and law and order under Mamata Banerjee has taken a flying leap out of the window. And in 20 seconds, I will just read out what the Supreme Court said. What Dilip Ghosh says, what Sanju Verma says, or what Tausifur Rahman says is not relevant. But what Supreme Court says is absolutely relevant. And this is what the Supreme Court said on the 20th of June 2023. It said, holding elections cannot be a license to commit violence. Elections cannot be accompanied with violence if the candidates are unable to file nomination, or if they are finished off while they are going to file it. Then where is free and fair election? I am reading out from the Supreme Court judgment ad verbatim. And then when the West Bengal State Election Commission, which reports into Mamata Banerjee, said that, we just need 22 companies of the CAPF. We don't need too many companies of the CAPF. This is what Justice Nagaratna said. Even according to you, the police forces are inadequate to deal with this situation, as there are 75,000 booths that you have in the state. Then why is it that you have a problem if central forces are brought in? But Rahul, 20 seconds more, just. The local media in Bengal, and I have friends in West Bengal, they say that forget about BJP, forget about Trinamool Congress. The Waterways and Irrigation Minister of Mamata Banerjee, a young Muslim lady called Sabina Yasmin, there is a problem now between her and Mamata Banerjee because she has admitted on record, not only to various media channels, but she has openly castigated her own dispensation, saying that a large part of the violence in Malda, Murshidabad, she is the MLA from Mota Bhari. And she says large part of the violence is actually perpetrated by her own TMC colleagues.
Dr. Nazrul Islam, I want you to respond to Mohammad Rahman of the TMC. He says, where is the evidence? You're leveling this charge against the Chief Minister, against Trinamool. He says you have no evidence to back this.
No, Rahulji.
No, one second. Let Dr. Islam respond.
I am giving the evidence.
Yes.
Yes. In our policing in India, intelligence is given so much importance, then the Director Intelligence Bureau is the senior most police officer, 4-star general. So in the state also there is intelligence branch, and in Calcutta police there is special branch. So if Dilip Ghosh or Sukanta Majumdar or Sujan Chakraborty, whoever does the mischief, the police should have intelligence. Who is making bomb, who is supplying illegal arms, the police is supposed to know that. If after knowing all these things, the police minister Mamata Banerjee, who is also the chief minister, does not take any action against this, then from 9th the vote is declared, and in these 28 days there are 21 deaths, and there are more who got bullet injuries, who got bomb injuries. And
Rahul, can I come in?
after so much death, in the TV interview, yes, yes.
No, let him complete. Dr. Islam, please
Yes.
complete.
Shall I
Tawseefur,
continue
hold your
or-
turn. Yes, no, you must complete.
Yes, I am telling that whoever be the criminals, it is the duty of the police to nab him and control. And from my experience in police, I can tell that if the police wants, this thing cannot happen. This is happening because this police has become
Okay.
Jo Hujur. Yes,
That's a very
to
good
the
point
chief
that you
police
make.
minister.
That if the police
And the-
wants, they know who these bomb makers are, they know where these factories are, and they can put a stop to this. Tawseefur, respond to the former ADG that if the police wanted to bring a halt to this, they can do it. They don't want to do this. Now let the TMC spokesperson respond.
Rahul bhai, it is very simple. You can stop the violence in one day. You can go ahead, make a several arrests, which is happening every day. Several arrests have been done every day, every single day, day and night. But the problem is, I want to give you evidence. What is the difference between a violence and conspiracy? The conspiracy is very simple. And you have to understand, the BJP, they don't have candidates, they don't have cadres, they don't have volunteers. Same as ISF, Congress and CPM as well. I will show you the proof. Maybe it must be irrelevant what I'm going to tell you. But there I can give you evidence. There are 100 independent candidates, Rahul bhai, 100 independent candidates. And if you see the posters of those candidates backed by BJP, ISF, Congress and CPM. Now, what kind of conspiracy you want to do that? You want to malign the image of Bengal, or you want to harass the commoners who wants to stay in Bengal? You know, when I went for campaigning, those people staying in that hut, poor people, they were telling me that I know these people, they do BJP. We don't have any problem. But end of the night, they are coming in a house and they are telling me in Bengali that kalke toke ami bahre jete debo na. So this kind of fascination, vote polarization is happening in Bengal. I mean, it's no violence, Rahul bhai. It is a conspiracy.
May I please?
And people
Okay.
coming from
I'm going to
Bangladesh,
give
when
you
go
30
back,
seconds to respond because I want to go across to Jayanto as well.
It is our duty.
1 second, very quickly, Sanju Verma, I have to go to Jayanto next.
Rahul, at least give me 45 seconds. You know, the Trinamool Congress spokesperson rambled on for more than 60 seconds. I just have this to say. Rahul, I ask you a question. If today there is an incident in Madhya Pradesh, who do we blame? We blame Shivraj Singh Chauhan's government. If there is a problem in Uttar Pradesh, we blame Yogi Adityanath. If there is a problem in Assam, we blame Himanta Biswa Sarma. If there is a problem in Haryana, we blame the Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar. How is it that when there is lawlessness and widespread violence in West Bengal,
we are not Narendra Modi and Amit Shah that we will not do.
Rahul, this is not fair. This man has a bad habit of heckling. I did not interject him even once. Can I finish? How is it that when there is violence in West Bengal, we should not blame Mamata Banerjee, but we should blame the Congress, or we should blame the BJP, or we should blame the left?
Okay,
Point number
I
one,
hear you.
Mamata Banerjee has to take responsibility. Now, give me 20 seconds more. I just want to say this. There is a false narrative that when Panchayat elections are underway, it is the election commission which manages law and order, and the state government has nothing to do with it. Under Article 324 of the Constitution, the Chief Election Commissioner has said law and order continues to be the responsibility of the respective state government.
Okay, it is
The
most
election
certainly. I
commission
want to show our
only
viewers what's
ensures
happening in
free
the
and fair
elections
elections.
on Saturday. Here's a look at the number of seats that are uncontested. Remember, in West Bengal, unlike a lot of other states, a lot of seats simply go uncontested. And the reason for that is that the opposition isn't able to put anyone up against them. So in 1993, 1,716 seats went uncontested. In 1998, it was 680. In 2003, it came to 6,800. In 2013, it was 6,278. Last elections, it was 20,076. That's the number of uncontested seats. This time, we're told about 9% of the seats are uncontested. So the number is coming down from the last elections, but still quite high. I want to also show you what's happened in the West Bengal Panchayat elections in terms of vote share and seat share in past elections. So we're going to call that up on the screen and take you through vote share numbers first. In the 2018 Panchayat elections, the Trinamool Congress scored about 78% of the vote. That is massive because in the Lok Sabha elections, they had 43% of the vote, and in the assembly election, they had 48%. So that means in the Panchayat polls, there's a big spike relative to what happened in the assembly and in the Lok Sabha polls. In the last Panchayat elections, the BJP was weak. It got only 12% of the vote. In the Lok Sabha elections, it got 41. In the assembly elections, it got 38. The CPI, the CPM are now much diminished forces, as is the Congress. I want to show you how many wards and Panchayat seats were actually won by different parties. In 2018, the Trinamool won 82% of all the wards that were up for offer. The BJP won 12% of the wards that were on offer. The CPI and the CPM had very small numbers. So the majority of the wards were won by the Trinamool. And remember, in the Lok Sabha elections, the Trinamool picked up only 52% of the seats on offer. In the assembly elections, the Trinamool picked up 73%, but the maximum was in the Panchayat elections. And typically, whoever is the state government tends to do better in the Panchayat elections. That's just the way it is all across the country. Whoever has the state government typically tends to do better in the local body elections. So about 38,118 of the Panchayat seats were won by the Trinamool. The BJP had only 5,779. This is out of about 48,649. So I want to go across to Jayanto Ghoshal. Jayanto, who is to blame for heightened violence? There was this kind of violence when the left was in power and when the Trinamool was trying to make inroads against the left. After that, when the Trinamool started dominating, the level of violence came down. Now we're seeing a big spike again. Who's to blame and why?
Rahul, I first, at the outset, I salute your investigating team. Being a journalist, I am proud of this sort of investigation. You know, blame game is a part of politics, and it is true that the ruling party, because the law and order is the state subject and the police is under state government. So if you can't control the bombing factories as a small and cottage industries of Bengal, then obviously, as we criticize CPM, when CPM was in power, we criticized Siddharth Shankar Ray when he used that bombs for the Congress, the goons of his own party. So now, obviously, we have to say that the responsibility primarily it goes to the state government. But Rahul, I have a different perspective that you have to study the socio-economic conditions of Bengal. Why it has been, irrespective of party line. In your investigation also, the bomb maker is saying that he is a business person and he is selling the bomb who is the consumer. So the consumer, the ruling party is consumer to retain the power and the opposition parties are consumer to get the power. So, and you are saying that uncontested seats are decreasing. That means the power of BJP and the opposition space, when that is increasing, the conflict, where is the conflict? If there is a opposition, where there is a antithesis. If there is no antithesis, no opposition, no contest, no conflict. But you know, this time, gradually, you have to give the share to the devil Trinamool's devilish BJP, but you have to accept the fact that in 2019 they got 18 seats, the percentage of vote, and you know, this small and cottage industry of bombings, I was seeing the Egra, the wife of the bomb maker died, and when I was watching in the television, the family condition and the social strata, they are very poor. So if you cannot give the industry, if you cannot give the socio-economic development, if you cannot give the job, so it's a very easy way to get the money. And you know, Egra in the Medinapur, after this incident also, again incidents took place. Yesterday there was a major incident when 17 years old boy, he was just watching the procession, and the procession was TMC's procession. And someone bombed. And who bombed? Because BJP is saying it is TMC versus TMC. TMC is saying that it is BJP, and then Indian Secular Front. So I don't want to go to the blame game because I am not the investigating officer. But constitutionally, responsibility goes to the state government.
Certainly.
But you know, once upon a time from Munger, bombs used to come. Now we are self-sufficient state. We can make our own bombs. We are not importing bombs from Bihar. Earlier it used to come from Munger by boats, the gun and the bombs. But now our manufacturing industry of bombs, it is very sad. We should not blame. There should be a consensus, political consensus to stop this sort of bombing manufacturing industries, Rahul.
Interesting insights from Jayanto Ghoshal there. Shikha Mukherjee, how is your outlook on the Panchayat polls? How is this election, in your view, different from the last Panchayat poll?
Well, the last Panchayat poll, I think the Trinamool Congress was far more aggressively pursuing a goal of total capture of all Panchayat seats. This year, I think the contest has been rather less intense in the sense that. Why is that? That is because I think the Trinamool Congress got a little wise to the fact that, you know, this uncontested seats, nominations, and all of that had somehow or the other affected its credibility as the party that can win the seats through a popular mandate. And it definitely needs that popular mandate this time too. The other thing that I'm seeing, which is not, is that this time, the violence that we are seeing, I mean, let me get the figures right first. First and foremost, in the 2018 Panchayat elections, 27 people died. In the 2013 Panchayat elections, some 30 people died. In the 2003 elections, I think 79 or 80 people died. And in an election before that, over 100 people died. So if you're looking at violence, let's get a perspective on how the violence has played out in West Bengal. If the count today is 20, I am almost certain that the count will go up on between the 8th and the 11th and thereafter.
Sure. Tausifur, I just did a simple calculation which suggests to me that about 8,760 Panchayat seats out of the 73,000 are likely to go uncontested. The fact that 12% of the seats on offer are going uncontested says while fear has come down from the last election, why should even 1% of the seats go uncontested? You know, why is the opposition not being able to put up candidates?
Rahulji, absolutely. I mean, see, the party leadership has issued strong instruction to booth workers to refrain from violence and make sure the entire nomination procedure remains free and fair. Now, the problem is you need to make another report in Bengal, Rahul bhai, that whether do these people have candidates? Do they have candidates? Where are the people?
Yeah, that's
They don't have. Now the only thing is they want to create a misunderstanding between the people and show what's happening in Bengal.
Shikha Mukherjee, your sense, is that the case? No,
Rahul, please, I'll just finish.
One at a time. Please wait.
I'll just finish, Rahul bhai.
Yes, okay, Tausifur, quickly, 20 seconds and complete.
Abhishek
I need to make a
Banerjee,
point,
before Governor
Rahul.
opening his helpline, Abhishek Banerjee had his helpline stating clearly that any BJP cadres or any CPM ISF cadres
he can't keep
having
making
problem
allegations.
for
I
the
need to
nomination,
respond.
they can directly call me and we can take care of everything. Now,
May
Sanjuji
I
won't
please
believe that.
respond?
This is the
Okay.
problem. You don't want to believe. It's
Shikha
very
Mukherjee, all figures go down. Shikha Mukherjee, is it because they don't have candidates, or is it because of fear of poll violence that even in this election 12% of the seats are going uncontested?
No, I mean, the number of candidates required for this election is something on the scale of 70 to 73,000.
Correct.
It is not possible for the smaller parties to produce this kind of.
Okay, let Sanju Verma respond. That it's not because of the fear of the Trinamool, it's because you don't have so many candidates.
Hang on. Rahul,
May I please
just a minute.
now?
I don't have the.
I think the
Just
question was
1
to
minute,
me, Shikha.
Sanju.
No, 1 second,
Just
Sanju.
1
Let her
minute,
complete.
Sanju.
Let
me just finish.
Yes. Okay.
I think I don't have the figures with me readily, and maybe that's something worth looking at over the next couple of days. Is that the number of candidates the respective parties have put up in this particular election? My sense is that the number of candidates put up by the BJP and the CPM or the left has increased compared to last.
Okay, Sanju Verma, it's not because of fear of the violence by the Trinamools, because you simply don't have enough candidates on every seat.
Okay, now I need to respond to that. You know, Rahul, you are a very astute journalist. And when you say that the violence in West Bengal today is not due to Mamata Banerjee's incompetence, but because BJP does not have enough candidates, with no offense to you, that is like trying to rationalize the lawless situation in Bengal.
I never said it. No, one second. I never said it. I'm just quoting back to you what the TMC spokesperson said. So please don't put words in my mouth. I'm playing my role as a moderator. But go ahead and respond.
Okay, then I stand corrected. It is for the TMC spokesperson. Please don't rationalize violence on national television, especially on Rahul Kanwal's show. I have this to tell you. Do you remember the 2018 Panchayat polls? The governor then was K.N. Tripathi. And I remember that the Ranninagar Durgapur DCP Arindam Datta Chaudhary lost his right arm while trying to rein in the violence. Mamata Banerjee did not allow the then Governor K.N. Tripathi to even visit Asansol and Durgapur. And today, it is the same thing which is playing out. The Governor CV Ananda Bose is being taken pot shots at. And did you listen to that statement by Abhishek Banerjee? He says, you know, the West Bengal governor suffers from too much of intelligence. He should rather use his intelligence in Manipur rather than using his intelligence in Bengal.
Of course he's
I just
right.
want to say one thing.
Of course he's
I just
right.
want to say one thing. Please, I did not interrupt you. Look at the Kalia Chowk riots of 2016.
Why do you
I can't have both people speaking at the same time. Let Sanju complete. Sanju, 20 more seconds. 20 more seconds. Quickly, please.
I need 30 seconds. Please, Rahul, indulge me. Kalia Chowk riots of 2016, Bhaduria riots of 2017, Asansol riots of 2018, Jadavpur violence of 2019, then you had the Sitakulchi violence of 2021, you had the Birbhum riots of 2022, and now you have the violence ahead of Panchayat polls in 2023. Mamata Banerjee stands for lawlessness, incompetence, and widespread
Dr. Nazrul Islam, is it because the smaller parties don't have enough candidates, or is it because of the fear of violence that 12% of the seats, even in this election, are going uncontested?
Rahul, if the opposition parties had dearth of candidates, then the TMC criminals had no business to prevent the candidates who was going to file the nomination. Many candidates could not file the nomination.
So if TMC criminals, this is not fair. Sir, you're a ex-ADG.
Supreme Court has condemned Mamata Banerjee. Supreme Court has condemned
Let me give the example. Let me give the example.
Tausifur, let Dr. Islam complete. All other faders go down. Let him speak 20 seconds.
Let me complete. Let me complete. Some people in Bhangar who wanted to file nomination, they could not file, then came to the High Court. And High Court ordered the police to take them so that they can file nomination. but the police took them to the TMC criminals who fired at them and killed one, and another got bullet injury and still in the Arjikar hospital. And I am giving another example, Bashanti, Jiarul Mullah is killed. His daughter is TMC candidate and she is telling that her father was killed by the TMC criminals.
Okay.
And he does not want to continue in politics.
You know, Dr. Islam, given that you've been a part of the government in the way that you have, it's interesting that you're saying the kind of things that you are. And I think there are some insights there. There is violence when there is a pitched contest, and of course the state government is responsible for law and order. It's happening on their watch. When Panchayat polls happened in Uttar Pradesh, we didn't see this kind of violence. It was, you know, relatively peaceful. Everyone went out, campaigned and voted. No seats went uncontested. There was a contest and whoever won. That's the way it should be everywhere. I'm going to thank my guests. Let's see what happens in the elections. We've got a special setup for live counting day on the 11th and the 12th. As the numbers from the Panchayat wards come in, we'll be bringing them to you live on Aaj Tak Bangla, on India Today. Any election gets us excited. This is a good election on the ground in West Bengal. May not matter so much in the national scheme of things, but take my word, it makes a difference to what happens in 2024 in West Bengal and shows the extent to which the BJP has been able to penetrate across the state, because the Panchayat poll is really the smallest form of election. You can have a candidate who's strong in a Lok Sabha constituency, but do you have enough people on the ground in each Panchayat? That's what we'll find out. So we'll track this on Saturday and then early next week as the counting happens. Counting here much slower and over 2 days rather than on an assembly or Lok Sabha election where it's over in a matter of a few hours. Slipping into a break, coming up on the other side after launch of Twitter alternative Threads, Musk threatens to sue Meta, accuses the social media giant of unlawful misappropriation of Twitter's trade secrets.
Armed with facts, she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
The WHO has put the spotlight on fake sugars, but artificial sweeteners has only been an ever-growing market in India, and outside increase in cases of diabetes and the growing burden of obesity world over has ensured that people turn to alternatives. The demand for low-calorie food and beverages have contributed to the market's expansion in India. For example, sugar-free Zydus Wellness's artificial sweetener brand witnessed double-digit growth last year in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic as consumers opted for a healthier lifestyle, shows data from 2021. The Indian artificial sweetener market is projected to reach a value of Indian rupee 12.23 billion by 2023, growing at a CAGR of 3.4% during the forecast period. Think about it. Stevia and other sweeteners are found in 1 million products. Colas, juices, chewing gum, chocolates, and everything that is being sold as sugar-free. It clearly has grown way beyond just tabletop sweeteners. In India, the artificial sweetener market has witnessed significant growth over the past decade. On a global scale, the market for artificial sweeteners has also experienced substantial growth. The global artificial sweetener market was valued at approximately $19 billion in 2020 and is expected to reach $28.9 billion by 2028. The Food Safety and Standards Authority of India said it's evaluating the new guideline issued last week by the World Health Organization, but strong advisories against them is unlikely. With Brijesh Vashisht, Bureau Report, India Today.
The Musk versus Zuckerberg war is getting bigger. After challenging each other to a cage fight, the tussle has now exploded in the courtroom. The beef this time is over Meta's new social media app, Threads. Some are calling it the Twitter killer. No wonder its launch has Musk all ruffled up. He's threatening to sue Meta for copying the Twitter design.
From a cage fight to a court fight. Days after the launch of Twitter rival Threads, Elon Musk is taking his fight against Mark Zuckerberg to a whole new level. The Twitter boss has now threatened legal action against Zuckerberg for Meta's latest creation, Threads. The Threads platform, developed by Meta, bears a suspicious resemblance to Elon Musk's Twitter, allowing users to share their thoughts with a public audience in a simple text format.
Now the idea is there's an amazing community on Instagram and wonderful creators. We want to create a space where they can engage in public conversations that is friendly and that is open. And so we're going to bring a lot of the good tools from Instagram to Threads. Things like hidden words and restrict, which allow you to shape the experience into something a little bit more friendly. Things like our community guidelines, and over time, more features around recommendations and trends.
In just 2 days of its launch on Wednesday, Threads has already gained 30 million signups and counting, taking advantage of Instagram's billions of users to grow at this record-breaking rate. And while Musk all along acted totally cool about Zuckerberg's Threads, he's now said enough is enough. The reason for suing Threads? In a letter from Twitter's lawyer to Zuckerberg, Meta is being accused of having access to Twitter's trade secrets and other highly confidential information. Musk was quick to take to Twitter to respond to the situation, saying that competition is fine, cheating is not. Despite accusations that Meta cheated by hiring former Twitter employees and learning the tricks of Twitter's trade, a former senior employee of Twitter said that they were not aware of any former staffers working on Threads or any senior people working in Meta at all. Could Elon Musk just be grasping at Threads? What evidence does Musk have of these lofty accusations? In court, a little birdie may not cut it. All of this remains to be seen once the tech titans take it to the courtroom.
Could Elon Musk be grasping at Threads? What evidence does Musk have for these lofty accusations? A little birdie may not cut it in court. All this remains to be seen when the tech titans take it to the courtroom. This is Anya Niharika-Schutz for India Today.
Well, let's see if there's a strong enough use case for Threads that can be built up. But the fact is, if Elon Musk keeps making it tougher and tougher for people to use Twitter, then its relevance as the public town square comes down and people find reasons to exit and find other platforms to vent on, talk on, or give their views on. So he's finding different ways of blowing up the $44 billion he spent on buying Twitter. Well, he's a multi-billionaire, he's got the money, but he's blowing this one up spectacularly so far. This is where we wrap up the news track tonight. Have a great weekend. At this moment, we're being told that there is no reshuffle likely over the weekend, but things can change. So we'll track that, and I'll see you Monday evening at 8 p.m. Goodbye, good night.